Hello, hello. How is everybody doing tonight? Happy Sunday, guys. When you don't like the villagers you got in Animal Crossing, it literally kills any idea of keeping it going. It really hurts any idea of keeping it going. Oh, thank God. Okay, let's do a quick RE tier list. Let's hopefully have it not take as long as the fast food one did. Once I'm looking at this, trying to make sure all of the games are actually in this. I think they are. We just might have to zoom in on some things for my old eyes. We're going to go S, A, B, C, and instead of D, we're going to do never played. Because there are some of these that I simply do not have access to or flat out have never played. So we'll go off of that. Okay. OG RE1. We played it for the first time last year when it came out. There do be a lot of RE games. I don't even know if this is all of them. There's supposed to be like what, 26? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this will be 26. That'll be good enough. Yeah, agreed. I don't know. I'm super thankful for this like new Dutch oven, right? But like all that I know how to do in a Dutch oven is like braised meats type deals or like stews and soups, right? And it's too hot for that. So I am very appreciative for this Dutch oven, but at the same time part of me feels like I won't be using it till fall. You know? Part of me feels like I'm not going to be using this thing until the fall. And I kind of feel guilty about it, but at the same time it is what it is. It'll definitely get a hell of a lot of use once the weather's right. But yeah, right now I kind of don't know what to do with it in the summer. Uh RE1. I played it for the first time last year when it came out on GOG. It's a classic. It's what started it all. It's hella cheesy. I think it stood the test of time. I think it stood up. Did the remake right here do things better? Yeah, yeah, I think it fleshed some things out better. But in no means is OG RE1 a bad game. I don't think it's an S, but I think it's definitely an A. I think it's definitely an A. OGRE2 I liked better than OGRE1. I was really, really, really excited when I got to play this for the first time. Voice acting kind of. The voice acting in one is peak. Like it really is. I was sitting here cackling when we got to play it, right? Like I spend a lot of time watching people do Biorand. I watch a lot of Bakba Soup, who basically does not play this game vanilla anymore. He only ever plays it randomized and everything. So like it had been when I got to play it, it had been a while since I've really seen it vanilla with like all of the actual voice lines and like the full story. And I was just sitting here cackling. Like I probably just was hella disrespectful to the game because I couldn't keep a straight face. The voice acting was amazing. Like it was so corny. It was so fucking corny. But it for me, it's still kind of an A. I like OGRE2 better than 1. I was hella excited when I got to play this. 2 is one of my top 3 games of the remakes. And I knew going into OGRE2 that there was more to it than there was in the remake. Like we all know. We all know. A and B scenario, there's really no difference of them in the remake besides where you start and RPD1. RPD1 is the only difference between first and second run. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Like you're playing a whole different scenario. yet you still fight all the same bosses except for G5. Kind of sad, guys. But yeah, I knew going into this that like in A run you had Birkin, and then in B run you had Mr. X. I did Claire A, and I will be perfectly honest with you guys. I still have a Claire A save where I can't beat the final boss. I can't beat the final Birkin. I have tried over and over and over again, and the son of a bitch keeps killing me. And I kind of just stopped having patience for the monster, and I just moved on, and off stream I tried a B run, and it's just the simple difference in what OG2 was and then what 2 Remake is. I still love 2 Remake. 2 Remake is still in my top 3 because I think that they did a fantastic job with 2 Remake, but I still really enjoyed 2 OG. But for me, I learned in my time of playing the OGs that I really am just a modern gamer nowadays. And by that, I mean modern controls. I can play like RE0, I could play like the RE1 remake and be just fine with those tank controls. But there's something about the OGs that my brain cannot wrap my head around the controls for them. And for me, and this is just my opinion, for me, they just felt extra clunky. And like, I know that it's a product of its time. And like, for the era that it came from, it's still like, they're fantastic. They did a fantastic job. I just couldn't do it. I simply could not do it. And I still appreciate them. I will run the games every now and then, but these are like not going to be like games that are like really in the regular rotation, you know? And yeah, I think that's okay. At least I've tried them. At least I've played them. At least I know them. Because we don't have to play them all the time. 3 remake, three Nemesis. This is a little bit sad. I tried this once, like right when the GOG port came out. My ass got stuck trying to find my way to the RPD, and I was pretty much dead when I got there, and I needed to restart, and then I just kind of never did. Technically, RE3 Nemesis is still a never played because I just didn't have time to go back to it. But, here's the but, it was a sub goal. So tomorrow we are retrying our run of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So after tomorrow, I can officially say that we will have played this game. Also, noting on that, since I had such a hard time the first time we played it, I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to have my iPad over here tomorrow, and I'm going to have a guide up just so I can guarantee that I do actually get through the game this time. I'm going to play it because I said I would, but I am going to follow a guide for it. I'm going to follow a guide, and that's just what that's going to be. And I honestly, I don't feel guilty about it. I really don't. I really don't. Code Veronica. Those of you that have been around here before or have ever talked to me about anything Resident Evil, this is the game that I really want to play, but literally have no means of playing it. I have been told of a couple emulators that can run Code Veronica. I just really struggle at getting emulators to work. So Code Veronica is still kind of out there. I want to play it, but at the same time, I am like team Code Veronica gets a remake, so I can just play the remake version and say that I've played it. Because I get a little bit smooth-brained when it comes to emulating. And I already have to emulate the first 3 Silent Hill games coming up here soon. And I've talked to people that have emulated it before and are going to try to walk my smooth brain through it. But if I can figure out emulating Silent Hill 2, then maybe that will give me the confidence to work through Code Veronica a little bit. You were too scared to get hunted by an enemy when you didn't know where to go. That's the thing too, like, there's a lot of choices in 3 Nemesis where, like, the game is all about choices, and every run that you do in the game can be different, right? Like, for example, I do know that right when you get to the RPD, because I did make it this far, you have the choice to either fight Nemesis there outside of RPD with, I think, like, next to nothing ammo-wise, or you can just bail and run inside the RPD. When I watch Bach play it, Bach never fights him there. He always runs in. So I think that means that that's what you're supposed to do. I really don't know. I really don't know. So I'm gonna mostly be following a guide just so like I don't make a stupid decision that I don't really know that I'm making and get to the point where I like kind of unintentionally soft lock myself because I've made said wrong decision. You know? That's partially why. Like I said, I want to get through this game. I want to say that we beat it, and I want to say that we beat it on stream. And if that kind of has to be consumed to me, like following a guide to do it, I don't feel bad about that because in the end, I can still say that I have played the game. RE1 Remake, I love this game. This was the first Resident Evil game I've ever played. This was the first game that I ever enjoyed enough to platinum it. This was the very first game I platinumed. This game holds a very special place in my heart. Um, I was a big Jill main in this game. I still to this day low-key hate playing Chris because I hate dealing with the old keys, and I am replatining this game on Rax's Steam. And I literally have everything done but the Chris stuff. And now that I have just all Chris stuff left, my ass is kind of stalling because I don't want to play Chris. But I love RE1 remake, as we call it. I know it's not technically a remake. I know it's a remaster, but I always just call it remake. I always just call it remake. Sorry, I moved my mouse in the wrong spot. RE0. Good old RE0. I don't think that RE0 is a bad game. I also do not love RE0. S. No, Bean it. No, 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 no. We're gonna bonk Bean it here in a minute. I like the story of RE0. I like, it's got a good story. I like how you see like early Wesker, early Birkin. The facility's cool, the sets are cool. For me, those are where the positives for RE0 kinda end. My friend of the channel, him and I did our first playthroughs of Resident Evil roughly the same time. He started with 0 as his very first Resident Evil game ever, and he kinda hated his life. I started with 1 because I knew that this dude hated his life while playing 0. I did not play 0 until after I played 3 Remake. And then I huffed and I puffed, and chat talked me into going back to 0 when I was purely against it. But I'm glad I did it because the story was good. My problem with 0, Billy's biceps are S tier worthy. It is, I don't know if this is like my controls or everybody's. The controls for 0 were like opposite for what I used for RE1. The controls that I used for 0 were like opposite for what I used for 1. So I kept pressing the wrong buttons all the damn time. We made a counter on stream, for God's sakes, for how many times that I accidentally switched between Billy and Rebecca when I didn't mean to. because I was doing it so damn much, thinking that I was going into my inventory. That chat made a counter. I hate that there's no item box. Leaving your shit all over the floor felt like the dumbest thing ever. The hook shot is like one of the worst pieces of equipment, key items, whatever you want to call it in the entire franchise. And the stupid thing takes over 2 item spots when you have like some of the most limited inventory in the game. And you know what? The game also never tells you when you're actually done with it. So you're kind of just running back and forth, carting this huge item everywhere. And then all of a sudden you're done with it, but yet you keep carting it around, not knowing that you never need it anymore. There's certain things, and I think it has to do with like the bat fight, where like you're supposed to like send either Rebecca or Billy up. I think you have to send Rebecca like up on a roof somewhere, and that like makes it to where Billy does the bat fight. But if like Rebecca does it instead of Billy, like it's a lot harder or something. It's been a while since I played Zero, so my memory is kind of fuzzy on it. Zero is like the only RE that I've only played one time. Zero is the only one that I've only played once and have yet to go back to. I remember K-Mac playing it recently though, and like some of it was coming back to me, and I do remember saving him from like making Rebecca do the bat fight. But yeah, I just remember like Zero didn't tell you things a lot. And I know like that's part of just like RE, like they don't tell you things and you have to figure it out by yourself. Zero's story was cool. I think some of Zero's mechanics were annoying. And if Zero ever gets a remake, I would I hope that modern gaming and modern controls makes like the switching back and forth between characters feel more natural. Um I would love, and I don't know if they're gonna just be like, well, Zero never had an item box, so we're not gonna start now. I would love for them to get an item box or even a simple attaché case. Because I hated just dumping everything in like main hall of the trading facility, and then all of a sudden, oh, you've put too many items on the floor. No more items can be placed on the floor of this particular room. And then you have to like go into like a side room and just start chucking items in there. And then remembering where you put everything. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And I still to this day really feel bad for my buddy that Zero was his first ever RE game. But I like the story of it. I just think some of the gameplay mechanics were eh. But still, story, good game. Hardcore that see, Grace is the hardcore gamer, not me. Grace is the hardcore gamer, not me. This girl played RE2 Remake last night with socks on her motherfucking hands. And she didn't get hit that many times. Still got hit, but she didn't get hit that many times. She's the hardcore gamer, not me. I'm the potato. She poked holes. I mean, I mean, I think the only game I could play with socks on is RE4. I think RE4 Remake would be my sock run game. I think it would be. Speaking of OG RE4. OG RE4, I honestly think is S. OG RE4 is a masterpiece. It's brilliant. I personally hate the PC port that we got, which is why I don't run 4 much. 4 on the bad PC port for 4 honestly like makes me motion sick. But I can still hella appreciate this game. I adore watching it. Like, I won't miss a box stream where he's running RE4 OG. I won't miss a Maxi Loeb stream with RE4 OG in it. I adore OG. I wish I could play it more. I actually have it wishlisted on PS4 to see if that version will not make me as sick as the PC version does. I want to play OG4 more. I just need to find a version that doesn't make me sick. But I love OG4. It's a masterpiece. It's great. Speaking of, I'm looking at this. 4 Remake isn't on here, but we'll talk about that at the end anyway. 4 Remake is not on here, and I just realized that. Because this says this list is from 2022, and 4 came out in 2024. I didn't realize that till just now. Oh well, you all know I adore 4 Remake too. We'll say 4 and 4 Remake are both right there in S. RE5. RE5 is a good game. I have nothing against RE5. My only issue with RE5 is that there's like a boss fight in it that's like eternally bugged. It's like the flamethrower boss or something. When I first played this, I played with my friend Zoop, and he's like, Panda, I'm gonna play this game with you because friends don't let friends deal with Sheva AI. He's like, but my one requirement for playing this game is when we get to the flamethrower boss, he's like, I am buying a rocket launcher. He's like, and we are instantly rocket launching that boss because I am not fucking with it again. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. Do whatever you want to do, right? Like, I was just happy that he wanted to play it with me. And then, like, last year, I played it with Rax, and him and I tried to fight this flamethrower boss legit. We spent an hour on this boss, and then I finally looked at him, I'm like, I'm done. I'm fed up. I'm tired of this shit. Reload, and I'm buying a rocket. And he caved, and he let me, and then I looked it up later. Apparently, the boss is, like, glitched somehow to where it's literally, like, immune to anything but the rocket. And I don't know if that's just a porting issue or what. Other than that, I think 5's a great game. I've had a lot of fun playing 5 with both Zoop and with Rax. Later this month, I am doing 5 for the first time solo. I've never dealt with Sheva AI before, except for like 5 minutes one night when Zoop had to walk away for a few minutes. But for me right now, I've had a lot of fun with 5. 5's A tier. I might change my mind after that after I play it solo, but I have no problems with 5. Revelations. I love Revelations. I think it's a cool game. I think it's a cool concept. I loved like an extra Jill story. I think Parker was cool. We recently did a story playthrough of Revelations, I think in January, and I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Not a bad game at all. I think there's two characters, I already forgot their names. The military dudes, I think they're absolutely useless. I think that all of their scenes could have literally been cutscenes, and I felt like it was a waste of time to have to play as those two. But other than that, fun game. Fun game, fun little spin-off. I would not mind more Revelations games. RE6. I kind of feel the same way about 6 as I do 0. For me, 6 is kind of a C, but it's not because of the story. 6's story's good. I think the concept of RE6 is good. For me, the menuing in 6 is terrible. Like, the item inventory screens, like, they completely overhauled. They completely changed it. It doesn't feel natural anymore. It felt really clunky, and I just... Playing on keyboard controller, I swapped back and forth between a bunch of them different times, and nothing just felt right. But I have played all 4 campaigns of RE6. There's a section in Leon and Chris's that I've heard from my own experience and from a friend that are kind of buggy. When I played it as Chris, there's a section towards the end where you're like in this like big like circular building and you're like doing like a running sequence. And y'all know I'm a keyboard and mouse gamer, right? So you have to like run like up this like circular thing and you have to like slide and do like it's all timed, and like if you're like a second behind, like a monster kills you, right? I was doing this shit over and over and over and over again on keyboard and mouse, swearing that I was hitting all the buttons right. Like I was pressing things and they just like weren't registering. And I was getting so pissed. Rax was telling me to quit playing the game and take a break for the night. And I was being stubborn and determined as I normally am. And I caved and I'm like, let me try something. I plugged in my controller. I kid you not, I got this stupid thing first try because the inputs somehow just worked better on the controller. And then my friend was doing a section, I think in Leon's campaign, where you're like driving and you're chasing after Ada or something. And he was playing it on controller. And he was like having a similar issue where like he wasn't driving fast enough, like he couldn't speed Leon's car up enough to ever catch Ada. And he kept like failing the mission over and over and over again. And he got pissed and then he tried it on keyboard and mouse and he got it first time. So there's like little issues in 6. And I don't know if the PC version on Steam is a port or what. But we both played on Steam and we both had like it's kind of like little game glitches like that, you know? And those glitches have kind of like pushed 6 down enough for me. Where the story's fine, I'm not mad at the story, but I'm annoyed with other parts of it. You know? Um, yeah, 6, like I said, cool concept, cool idea, a little bit crummy in other senses of things. Hold on, I'm filling out a planner really quick. Filling out a planner really quick. Here you go. But yeah, cool concept, cool game. I like the 4 scenarios all tying together. Yeah, again, I just think the controls could be smoother and not so clunky, and the controls for me bring it down. Revelations 2, great game. Y'all know I love Claire. Barry's an awesome character too. Moira Burden was cool. And Natalia wasn't bad either. I had fun with Revelations 2. I don't think it's as good as 1 for me, but I really enjoyed it. The ending of Rev 2 felt a little bit drug out for me. I felt like it could have been they called it episodes for Rev 2. I feel like it could have been an episode shorter and been just as effective. Just a second. RE7, love it. Great game. Really good horror game. I'm struggling where to put it because I hate the end of the game. It's gonna go right behind OGRE1. Um, we play 7 quite a bit around here. Y'all know my opinions of 7. 7 is a fantastic game. 7 kind of technically revitalized RE after 6, and I think it did a fantastic job feeling like OG-esque up until the boat. The boat, I think, was a waste of time. The boat was unnecessary. For me, in my head, the game really ends after the Jack boathouse fight. I think if the game would have ended there, it would have been a fantastic game. I don't think we needed the boat. I think the Evelyn stuff could have been worked in subtly up till the Jack fight. And then maybe like gone straight from Jack straight into like an Evelyn-esque fight. But honestly, the Evelyn fight was stupid. The Evelyn fight, like, you just unload your ammo on her in the attic, and then like you just block a couple of her attacks when she throws you outside, and then fake Chris with a K, throws you like I think it's the Albert or something, and you just pump 5 of those into her and she's dead. On every difficulty, that's still also what you do on Madhouse. The Evelyn final boss was weak. I feel like Jack was really the epic final boss of that game. Because Jack Baker is really the one that you're dealing with the entire fucking game. Evelyn's a cool character. Y'all know I like Evelyn. I love her in Village and like Shadows of Rose. But I love her story. But I don't think the boat was good. And I hate her boss fight. 2 remake. Y'all know I love this game. We don't have to talk about this one much. It did kind of get shat on when it comes to like a side-by-side comparison from the OG. Still a great game. I love it. No huge complaints about it. 3 Remake, it's worse than 6. I loved 3 Remake the first time I played it when I was young and naive and didn't know much about the franchise. I was super excited that it was so short because I was trying to get through all of the games and I hadn't fallen in love with the franchise yet. I was super excited that it was like so action packed and everything. I loved it the first time I played it. Then I learned more about the series and I learned like how much of it was like actually cut from the OG. And I kind of like started to wise up to the fact that like a lot of 3 Remake, you do something for a second and then a cutscene takes over. And then you do something for a second and then a cutscene takes over. Like I said, I was naive my first time playing 3 Remake. Now you pretty much have to bribe me to play the game, which bribing me to play the game is why it's set so high. But 2 more subs and I have to 2 more subs and I have to play RE3 Remake on Infernal difficulty. 2 more and I have to play the damn game on Infernal difficulty and hold in as much bitching and moaning about the game that I possibly can do. Some of it's going to come out, but I'm going to do my best to hold in quite a bit.
Grace_game is gifted 2
And when we do
subscriptions
this,
to the community.
And when we do Inferno, I'm going to blame Grace for it. When we do Inferno, I'm going to be blaming Grace for it the entire time. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. I thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, Inferno is not that bad until you get to the final 2 bosses. It's doable until you get to Acid Nemi and Final Nemi, and then it just becomes a nightmare. Then the they made Inferno about just as stupid as a difficulty as they made Village of Shadows, which we also are gonna get to do soon-ish. They just they made these like just insanely. You go from like hardcore, right? RE4, you have like a professional. That's like rightly where it's supposed to be above a hardcore. And then you have Inferno and Village of Shadows, which for some reason jumped up to like here, to where it's literally almost just unmanageable. But yeah, three remake gives me a headache. I bitch a lot when we play it. Good things about 3 remake. Carlos is hot. I think that's the only positive thing that I can say about 3 remake is Carlos is hot. I love my shirtless Carlos mod with them all oiled up. They did a good job with Carlos. I think Carlos is the best part of 3 remake. He adds the perfect amount of comic relief, and I enjoy it. Village, I adore Village. I really do. Village is one of my favorite RE games. It's in my top 3. My top 3 is like 4 for remake, 2 remake, and Village. All of those top 3. I love the story of Village. I love Ethan as a dad. I think that Ethan's character got a major boost in Village. He was like a nobody in 7. They didn't give him a character. They didn't give him a personality. And then they really amped him up for Village. And it might be the parent in me, but I adored Village. I loved all the characters. All of the bosses were really cool except for Moreau. I think Moreau is a waste of time. But I love Village. I think they did a great job with Village. I think it's a good game. This is a lot of the ones that I haven't played, so the rest of this is going to go really quick. I've never played Survivor. Never played Gaiden. I'm squinting. I'm squinting. Dead Aim. I've never played Dead Aim. I actually don't think I've played You know what? Hold on. Hold on. We've played Umbrella Chronicles. This is going to be the shortest way to do this. Umbrella Chronicles was a C. I will say, Umbrella Chronicles was not as bad as I thought it would be. It was not as bad as I thought it would be, but it was not good. And sadly, all of these are like spin off games that I never had the hardware to play. Umbrella Corps is still not a good game, but I thought it'd be worse. I thought it would be worse. Um, I would love to. I would love to play like any of these. Any of these I would love to play. I just have no way of playing them, and I have literally zero knowledge of emulation. Absolutely zero knowledge of emulation. So if anybody wants to teach me things, anybody wants to teach the potato how to do things, I'm down. I just don't know how. And then, Resistance and Reverse, the multiplayer free RE games that we literally never asked for, and nobody plays anymore. One of these two, I don't remember which one of these two, is shutting down their servers in June. And part of me does want to boot both of these up at one point just to technically say that I played them before like everything gets shut down forever. But yeah, never played these two. But would probably boot them up one day just to be able to say, yes, these are on Steam. These were on Steam. And I did get to play these before they shut down. One day. One day soon. I do need to do that. It's on my to-do list before June, though. But there we go. RE games minus RE4 because stupid list didn't have it. But y'all know I adore RE4. It's literally S tier, right with the other RE4. There we go. That is my opinion of the RE games. If y'all aren't already following, make sure you are to make it back here tomorrow for my first playthrough of RE3 Nemesis. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Follow the socials and spam Cherry with all of those pandas. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Happy birthday to
Thank you, Bean It.
Hope you have a happy birthday.
Thank you, Bean It. Bye, guys. Thank you, Sharky.